What's up? I hope you can see me. Today we're talking about how to get scouted in soccer or how to get scouted in football. If you guys can hear me, if you guys can see me, I want you to say, what's up? Let me see the chat bar. Say, what's up? Yeah, Soccer King, what's up? Robert Woods, what's up? Leon Derry, what's up, my guy? Daniel Bekele, what's up? Cool. Where are you guys from? Tell me where you're from. What country you're tuning in from. Today we're talking about how to get scouted in soccer, how to get scouted in football. If you guys are excited, hit that like button. And please let me know, is the audio good? Can you hear me well on audio? Cool. America, Pennsylvania, England. I'm from Quebec, Quebecois, Lancaster, Bahamas, France, England, Jamaica, Sweden. Love it. Okay, so let's get into it. If you guys watched the live stream the other day, I tried to keep it a little shorter, and I think that was a better format, excuse me. So today, Nigeria, Ireland, Bahrain, Zimbabwe, worldwide, guys. I love it. Progressive soccer taking over the world, and you guys are helping me do that. Let's give you some value today. We're talking about how to get scouted in soccer, how to get scouted in football. So, as I said, yesterday I did a live stream and I went about 15 minutes of value, giving you guys some tips and advice, and then 15 minutes open question and answer. So if you want to ask questions, save it to the end. Remember, if you use the super chat function, that little $ under the chat bar, at the bottom of the chat bar, that will get your question highlighted. So you will give me a notification so I actually see it. Otherwise, you're fighting with hundreds of other people to ask me a question and get an answer. So saying that, let's talk about how to get scouted in soccer. So I have 4 steps that I want to go through. Number 1 is understanding the process of how scouting works. I think most players are under the misconception that just because they're good enough, someone is going to come and find you and give you a pro contract. And although that happens a very small percentage of the time, that's not what you should be relying on. If you get scouted, that's great. In reality, that's not the best option for you to become a professional. And I'll give you some different ideas and explain exactly what I mean by that later in this video. But let's talk about getting scouted, because although it is not the biggest way to get pro, to go pro, it's not what I think you should invest most of your time in. You can set yourself up, put yourself in the right position so you can increase your chances of getting scouted while you're taking these other actions that I want to talk about a little later. So first of all, understand the process. Realize that in certain countries, scouting happens more than others. Dapper Gaming sent me $1. Thank you very much, Dapper. I appreciate it. Remember, if you do the super chat, make sure you write something if you wanted to ask a question. Thank you for the $1 super chat donation. I really appreciate that. Dapper Gaming YouTube. So getting back to my point, and if you did want to ask a question, just make sure you ask it. I'll try to see it in the sidebar there. Getting back to my point, some countries have a better scouting system than others. Now, if you live in a country that doesn't have a good scouting system, and those are usually countries that don't have very strong professional leagues, professional systems, there's no link from the youth to the pro game, or there's no pro game at all. So in countries like that, scouting will not happen as often as in countries where the professional system is very good. The youth system, the transition from youth, the youth academies, working with the professional academies, in those countries, you're more likely to get scouted. So we're talking about the big ones, England, Spain, Germany, France, all these big leagues. Everywhere in Europe, probably even in South America, it's good. In Africa, becoming better, and even in North America becoming better. But in certain countries, the scouting system isn't as good. Now, if that is your reality, you live in a country where the professional system isn't as good, it isn't as developed, the scouting system isn't as developed, you can either cry about that, complain about that like so many of you do, and maybe I'm calling you out right now because I see it in the comments. I get the messages every single day. You're saying, hey, my country sucks. It's corrupt. It's all about money. It's all about who you know. There's no help here. The professional game isn't developed. That may be true, but guess what? Complaining about that situation will not help you get the result that you want. Does it make it harder for you to get scouted? Yes, it does. But complaining about it, does that make it easier for you to get scouted? No, it does not. So you want to think about, instead of making excuses, I have to treat this as another obstacle that I must overcome in order to achieve my goal. So does it make it more difficult in certain countries? Yes, absolutely. But what are you going to do about it? Because crying about it, complaining about it is just going to make you turn out like everyone else who did that. They didn't make it and they blame the system for the rest of their life. So you can either blame the system or you can learn to work around the system and work with the system. So number one, understand the process. Try to understand, what is the scouting system like in your country? What is the professional game like in your country? Now, number two, I want you to put yourself into the best environment possible. Put yourself in the best situation to be scouted, because guess what? Certain teams do not get scouted. Okay, certain players in certain leagues do not get scouted. No one is coming to look at you. No one is coming to find you. Who's getting scouted? It's the best players on the best teams in the highest leagues. So you need to ask yourself, how can I get myself onto the best team for my age group in order to get myself seen by some people? So right now you might be playing on a team that you've always been playing on with the same players who are your friends. It's very comfortable. You enjoy playing on that team. But is that team the best situation, the best environment for you to get scouted? You want to think about, what is the highest league, or what is the highest league for my age available to me in my area? What is the best team in that league, and how can I get myself onto the best team? Sometimes it's just going to the website and making a call or sending an email saying, hey, I want to try out, or I want to come to this team. Maybe you go to a tryout, maybe they let you come to the training session. Just take action, ask questions. Maybe it's asking a friend who's on that team, can you get me an in? Can you help me get a connection with this club? Then when you get yourself there, now you're putting yourself in a better situation, because as I said, scouts are not going to watch the worst team in the league. They're not going to watch a team in the lower divisions. They're looking for the best players, and the best players are on the best teams. The best teams go to the biggest tournaments. They play in the biggest games, the championships. That's where scouts are. That's where scouts are watching, especially if you live in a country with that strong professional system that we talked about. So saying that, little sip of water. How can you get yourself onto the best team? Not only are you going to get more exposure, but you're going to get better coaching, you're going to get better training, you're going to be playing with better players. This is all going to force you to become better. So getting scouted, and I talk about it with the professional thing as well. Yes, you have to be good enough, but you also have to take some action. You have to put yourself in the right situation. Does that make sense, guys? If it does, I want you to type yes. And I want you to hit that thumbs up button. Right now it's at 61. Can we get to above 80? Let's go to above 80. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so like, it's great that you guys are saying yes, but I know a lot of you are going to say yes, and you're going to remain on the same team because it's comfortable. You're going to remain in the same situation. So you have to analyze your situation. Is my environment allowing me to get scouted? Is it encouraging me, helping me to get scouted, or is it holding me back? That may be hard to admit, but it's something that you have to admit to yourself. Good. Thank you for the yeses. The likes are at 78. I need 2 more likes before we continue. And yeah, also, can you join a youth academy? That would be the best thing. Can you join an academy that's linked? Maybe it's not the direct professional club, but maybe it's linked to that club in a different country. 98, good. Thank you so much. So think about getting yourself into the best situation. What team are you playing on? What is a better environment for me to be in? Even if I have to become a better player to get in that environment, what is my goal? Where do I need to be playing to increase my chances of getting scouted? Because I'll say it again, no one is coming to find you in your backyard. No one is coming to find you when you're playing on the worst team in the worst league in a city in nowhere. And that's another thing I want to touch on, because I do get that message as well. People say, hey, I'm not currently on a club. I don't currently play for a team. Can I go pro? Can I get scouted? No, maybe very tiny percentage someone's going to find you in the park, but that is 100 million to 1. You need to get yourself on a team. Not only is that going to increase your chances of getting scouted. But if you're not getting match experience, training by yourself is great, but if you're not playing in real games and you're not adding up those games, getting games every single week, then you're not going to improve at the rate that you need to. So first thing you need to do is get yourself on a team. How do you do that? Quick Google search is going to get you any team that you want. Just search your city plus soccer club or football club. You're going to get a long list, and you'll be able to take some action. Get yourself onto a team right away if you're, for some reason, not doing that yet and you want to achieve some success in the long run. So once you've done that, you understand the scouting process, you put yourself in the best situation possible. Now you want to find additional exposure. So if you want to increase your chances of getting scouted, you have to take action. Someone may come and find you if you're a really good player. Maybe they're talking about you, maybe you're playing on the best team. Yeah, someone might come and find you. But can you increase your chances of being seen by getting yourself in front of more eyes? And what I mean by that is taking action, going to open tryouts, going to combines. Maybe your team can go to showcase tournaments, looking for ID camps, even player development camps. Okay, so these are all things you can do to get yourself in front of more eyes, because usually at good high quality camps, there are high quality coaches with experience, with connection. Maybe you're going to a college identification camp. So this is also not just getting scouted for the professional game, but also getting scouted by college coaches to play for college teams. If you want to play college scout, if you want to play college soccer, these same principles apply. So a lot of people will say open tryouts are a scam. They're just about money. Combines are a scam. They're just about money. And if you guys don't know the difference, an open tryout is usually one professional club will hold an open tryout where you can come and try out for the team. You'll usually have to pay a one-time fee, and depending on the size of the club, it may be smaller or lower. Top professional clubs like Manchester United are not doing open tryouts, so don't look for that on their website. But smaller clubs, and you should be looking at the smaller clubs, semi-pro, lower leagues of professional, for example, if you're in North America, PDL, USL, USL Pro, NASL, if these have open tryouts, you want to be attending those. MLS teams, if they have open tryouts, you want to be attending those. If you're in different countries, go through the different divisions and see which clubs are actually offering open tryouts, okay? Because you go to there and you get seen, you start making contact, you start building some steam, you start gaining some experience. So coming back to my point, some people will say open tryouts are a scam. And also, sorry, I wanted to differentiate between open tryouts and combines. Open tryouts are one club holding a tryout, and there may be 100 players there all trying out for maybe one or two spots. A combine is something you would pay probably a little more money for, but a combine is an organization will host a little tryout, and there may be a smaller group of players, maybe 20 to 50 players, but there will be 20 scouts from 20 different teams. So instead of one team looking for players, it's 20 teams looking for players. So you increase your chances going to this combine. So what I wanted to say about those is most people say those are a scam. It's just about money. Yes, it does cost money. But you can't look at it as a cost. It is an investment, because if that investment pays off, let's say you pay $200 for this combine and you end up getting a contract from that, how many of you would pay $200 to achieve your goal of becoming a professional and signing a contract? Say I, if you would. Okay, so you can't look at it as a cost. Yeah, it costs money. You don't have money? Get some money. I don't care if you don't have money. It's just another excuse. It's another obstacle. You don't have money, like, you can feel sorry for yourself, or you can do something about it. Try to raise some money. Try to volunteer, and maybe you can get your fees paid for. Think outside the box. How can you be creative? Okay, so a lot of you are saying you would, so you would make that investment. So look at combines. Look at open tryouts. Can your team go to showcase tournaments? You have to think about, where can I put myself to be seen by more people? No one is coming. What about the fee you have to pay, like $1,000 to play in the provincial team in Canada? When will soccer be free in Canada? Probably never, so don't count on it. Yeah, it sucks, and I understand. I didn't realize it was that much, because I did play back in the day, and I thought once you made the team, your costs were covered, but it's a business. It's a business. Maybe that's why Canada's behind. Pay to play. Okay, you're not giving the best players the chance, even if they don't have the money. But again, you can complain about that, or you can realize this is my reality. I can complain about it. I can cry about it. I can blame everyone else. I can blame the system. Is that going to get you the result you want? No, it's not. Think outside the box. How can you be proactive? How can you make some money for yourself? How can you raise some money? Start a Kickstarter, start a GoFundMe, do some work, volunteer, get a job, start a business. What can you do to make it happen if money is the issue? Give the power to yourself. Stop relying on other people to make things happen for you, because if you do that, you're not going to achieve the success in your life that you want. So step number 3 was find more exposure. And I wanted to see, was there anything else as far as combines, open tryouts, showcase tournaments, and player ID camps? So even signing yourself up for like a player camp, a development camp, as I said, there's more coaches there. There's new coaches there. There's different coaches there. So it's building connections. It's getting seen by more players. If some of them really like you, they might pass you on, or they might help you take another step. So you playing on the same team with the same players, doing the same thing every year is not going to get you scouted. You have to put yourself out there, going to camps, going to tournaments, going to tryouts, going to combines, taking action. Does that make sense? If it does, please hit that thumbs up button. Please say yes, it does make sense. Dylan, just say yes, and we will move forward. Good. Yes, yes, yes. Is this the same for college soccer, Nathaniel Campos? Yes, it is. It is the same. You can, and you should do the research. If you're trying to play college, go to all the college websites. Look, when do they have identification camps, preseason camps? Because usually they'll have it to identify new players. It'll usually be open. You can even go as a walk-on. Go to the website, look for the information. If you can't see it, message someone. There will usually be email lists for all the coaching staff. Say, hey, I'm really interested in coming to your school. Are there any open tryouts? Can I come and train with the team? How can we make this happen? If you send your video, your highlight video, and your resume, that's really going to increase your chances. So make sure you do that. Okay. Dylan, what if you're a kid? Then it's great to start understanding the system and getting yourself in the best situation. The earlier you start, the better. The longer you take, the longer you start, the older you start this dream, the harder it's going to be. That's just the reality. Okay, so step number 4 was stand out every time you play. You have to have the mindset that every time you have a ball at your feet, every time you're training by yourself, every time you're in a team practice, every time you're in a game, someone is watching you, and you never know who might be watching you. Okay, it could be one of your teammates' parents who is an ex-professional, or they have a connection, and they're watching you. They're watching you slack off in practice. They're watching you waste your talent, and they say, oh, only if that kid applied himself, he would probably be pretty good. Or they see you and they say, wow, this kid's amazing. He gives 100% every training session, every practice. He's quality in matches. Even if the team is winning 5-0 or losing 5-0, he's playing his best every single time. Yes, I think I can help this kid, or I want to help this kid. So realize every time you play, you're on trial. Have that mentality. Every time you play, whether you're playing by yourself in the park or with your friends in the park, you are in a team practice, or you're in a game, your team is winning 10-0, your team is losing 10-0. You are on trial in that moment. Someone in the stands is watching, and maybe they are, or maybe they're not. But do you want to let that opportunity slip by because you decided to take your foot off the gas one game, because your team lost and was losing and the game was already over, or your team won and the game was already happening? So you're always on trial. Gilbert, Vera, again, buddy, thank you so much. I know you sent one in yesterday's live stream. Thank you so much for the super chat, $5 contribution. What are some things you want to avoid when coaching kids that are 14 and up? Who is your favorite coach and why? Who is your inspiration growing up? Favorite coach. So we're just talking about coaches. I'm talking about football managers. I've always liked Mourinho. Maybe in recent years he hasn't been as glamorous or even as effective as he was back in 2004, or even before that, 2002 to 2008, let's say something like that. I always liked Mourinho, just the way he set up his teams. But obviously, I really like Jurgen Klopp. I like Klopp a lot of Liverpool, and obviously Pep if we're talking Premier League. Why though? Let's just talk about Jurgen. I love the infectious attitude. I love how he approaches the game. I love how he is building a team, not individuals. He's building a team of chemistry. Everyone is bought into it, and he is everyone's friend. If they make a mistake, if they screw up, if they do something wrong, he is on them right away. But he has his arm around their shoulder. He is telling them, you're so good. You're going to be the best player. You're going to score so many goals. You're going to contribute to the team. You are amazing. He's their best friend when he needs to be, but he's also a hard-nosed general when he has to be. So I really like Jurgen Klopp. I think it's a good role model for a lot of young coaches looking for some inspiration. Some things to avoid when you're coaching kids that are 14 and up. I would just try to avoid negativity or talking down to them, because at that age, kids, and I was the same, and a lot of kids watching this are the same, even if they don't want to admit it. You think you know everything when you're 14. You're arrogant, you're cocky. Even if you're not, looking back in 10 years, you will say, oh, I was. So when you try to tell someone, hey, do this and not that, and you try to be very strict with them and try to punish them like that, a lot of kids won't respond well because they're cocky, because they're arrogant, because they think they know everything. So I really think, and we talked about this yesterday, I really think it's better to have the friend approach. So I'm your friend. And if they're not doing something well, it's not like you're mad at them. It's more like you're kind of disappointed. Like, hey, I thought you could do better. I thought you were a better player than that. I thought you were a better person. I thought you had more character than that. And I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed. I really thought you were going to be a big part of this team. I really thought you were going to contribute more, but it doesn't seem like you're applying yourself. So I would take that approach and hey, I believe in you. I know you can do so much better, and do that more on a one-on-one level. But when you're in the session, if you have to be hard with them, then be hard with them. But after the session, or when everyone else is to the side, you take them, put your arm around them and say, hey, I know your class. I know you're a quality player, but you have to apply yourself. What's going on with you? Talk to them as a friend rather than someone who's telling them what to do and why they're doing everything wrong, a drill sergeant. Okay, I hope that helps, Gilbert. Thank you once again for the Super Chat donation. So coming back, let me just finish quickly. Standing out every time you play, have the mindset that every time you're playing, you are on trial, because you never know who's watching. And if you have that mindset, you're going to be tired in the end of the game, and you're going to say, someone is watching. Someone is watching. I can't give up now. I have to keep this at 100%. Okay, so those are just 4 steps, 4 tips to help you get scouted. Excuse me. Tip number 1 was understand the scouting system in your country. Is it an advantage? Is it a disadvantage? Never make it an excuse. Do something about it. Use it as an obstacle that you have to overcome. Number 2, get yourself into the best situation possible, the best environment. So that means getting yourself onto the best team for the best age group, or for your age group in your area. What is the best team? How do you get yourself there? Do you have to become a better player to get there? Yes. Do you just have to take some action to get there? Yes. Okay. If those are, just do those things if you have to do those things. Step number 3 was find additional exposure. You have to get yourself in front of as many eyes as possible. If you're just playing on your team and you're not doing anything else, the chances of you getting scouted have massively decreased. So you want to do things to make it increase. Go to open tryouts, go to combines, look at them as investments rather than costs. If they pay off, it's a great return on your investment. Go to showcase tournaments, play in tournaments, play with different teams, play in random tournaments with your friends. Take any opportunity you can to play in different situations. Go to identification camps, go to player development camps, get yourself in front of more people, and finally realize every time you play, you are on trial. Someone is watching you. You never know who's watching, and sometimes all it takes is one random person watching a random game to say, hey, I'm a scout, or hey, I'm a coach of this team, or hey, I have a connection to this team. Do you want to do something? Would that be something that you're interested in? Okay, I hope that helps. If it does, please give me a thumbs up. And now I would like to go into some question and answer. So if you guys want to get your question answered like those other guys did with the super chat, it's definitely going to increase your chances. If not, you can fight with everyone else on the sidebar. I'll do my best to answer your questions. So if you want to ask questions specifically about this topic, or you want to ask questions about anything soccer related, life related, anything I can help you with, please ask. Remember the super chat function, that little $sign at the bottom will highlight your question. It will keep it at the top of my screen so I actually see it. Sally, SK, how can you know which position is best for you? Well, first, I would always say, which position do you want to play? What do you think is the most enjoyable? And then try to develop the skills necessary to play that position. Now, saying that, some of us are more naturally built. We have the skill set to play center back more than right winger. Okay, so if you're quick and speedy and agile, maybe you're more of a winger. Now, saying that, I don't want to put you in a box. That's why I say, what position do you want to play? Which position do you want to play? And what skills are necessary to play that position? Do you have the ability to develop those skills? Do you already have some of those skills? If so, then you can probably play that position. If not, you might have to work to play that position. But especially when you're younger, I wouldn't worry about getting stuck to one position. When you're younger, it's a great thing to play as many positions as you can. See which one you enjoy the most. See which one you're the best at. Then when you get older, let's say around 16 and going on older, you might want to specialize in a certain position, because specialization, it will help you as you get older. Now, saying that, if you ever have the opportunity or your coach asks you to play a different position, be open to that, because in the long run, it will make you a better player. Daniel Calixtro, is it better to go pro in the US or another country? That depends on you. That depends on your nationality, your citizenship, okay? Citizenship, nationality is important. It does play a role when playing professional. So if you're an American, it's easier for you to become a professional in America. It is easier. If you want to go and play in Europe, or you want to go play in South America or somewhere else, it is possible, but you need to understand, because you're a foreign player, it makes it more difficult, it makes it more expensive, and it makes it more difficult for the professional club to sign you as a player. They may have to go through legal processes, they may have to pay more money to keep you. So if they have other players, and they may only have a certain number of spots available for foreign players. Different countries have limits on how many foreign players they can have per team. Some countries it's more, some countries it's less. So these things are working against you. Now, saying that, if you're an American, but let's say you have English parents or English grandparents, you can get a citizenship, which now removes that barrier, because technically you are a citizen due to your, you'll have a European passport. So because you have this passport, now that isn't so much of an obstacle. It makes it a lot easier for you. So which country should you play in? That depends on the tools, the resources you have available to you. Do you have a European passport? Do you have a working visa, a traveling visa if you are going to these countries? If not, what is your heritage? And sometimes it's like your great-grandparents were Dutch, so now you can get a European passport, you can get a Dutch passport. I think they're all European passports over there. Don't quote me on that. Hopefully that helps you. GG10, what is the best way to become pro in Canada? It's probably right now, it's a good time. It's becoming better. CPL is just starting this year. Canadian Premier League is just starting this year. So the best way would be to get into an academy associated with one of these professional clubs. If you can get into Toronto FC Youth Academy, Montreal Impact Youth Academy, Vancouver Whitecaps Youth Academy, if you can get into those, that would be amazing. That's where you would want to start. If not, you want to look at the other teams that are in the CPL. So I don't know exactly all the teams. I think it's Victoria, Calgary does have one, Hamilton, what else is there? Halifax, Nova Scotia. So do these professional teams that are going into the CPL, do they have youth academies, or do they have youth clubs that are associated with the professional team? You want to get into those, because that will be a stepping stone. You can also look at NASL, like Ottawa Fury, New York Lynx. I don't know all the teams that are in NASL. Edmonton FC was in it. Calgary was in it. They were in the PDL. So you got to look at all the different leagues which are in Canada, which would be PDL. There may be a few USL teams, NASL and MLS, and CPL, CPL and MLS. So look at these teams. What are the youth clubs associated with those teams? Can you get into those youth clubs? If you're too old, then you want to look at going for the open tryouts, or because most of these teams, especially the lower divisions, will have open tryouts at the beginning of the year. Contacting the coach, sending your highlight video, sending your resume to the coach, the coaching staff, asking, is there any open tryouts, asking, can you come to training sessions? And if they like what they see in the video, they may give you an opportunity. Cool. Thank you guys for the questions. I'll do a few more. I don't want to go much longer than 30 minutes. So if you want to ask a question, please do a super chat. It will get highlighted. If not, I'll try to find a few more here on the side. Rada football, confidence, keeping calm on the ball. How to keep calm on the ball. I've made videos on this. Go to my channel and search composure, or go to my channel and search how to stay calm. Those videos will help you, but basically it's learning to control your thoughts. Right now you're receiving the ball and you're probably just thinking about everything that could possibly go wrong. You're thinking about getting tackled. You're thinking about having a bad touch. You're thinking about your teammates yelling at you. You're thinking about your coach subbing you when you make a mistake. So you're setting yourself up to fail. You are responsible for your thoughts. I think differently than you because I control my thoughts. I say, no, I'm not going to think like that. I'm going to focus on the positive. I'm thinking about having a good touch. I'm thinking about touch where I want that touch to go, where I'm attacking the space. I'm already thinking about where my teammates are. I'm thinking about who I'm going to attack, where I'm going to attack. I'm thinking about getting the shot off. So I'm thinking about the things I can control rather than the things I can't control. So first of all, think about the thoughts that are going on in your mind. Are they negative? Are they positive? Create a game plan before that ball is coming to you. Analyze, process, get more information, constantly shoulder checking. Where is the space? Where is the danger? Where are your opponents? Where are your teammates? What do you want to do with the ball before it comes to you? When you start making these decisions, you start processing this information, you won't be panicking because you'll already know what you want to do. And then when it's time to do it, just focus on the technique. Be present in the moment, focus on the technique, and don't think about those other things that are going wrong. And on top of that, the more you practice, the more game situations you put yourself in, the more confidence you will have. So I hope that helps you, but definitely watch those videos. Okay, I'll do one more question. Oh, Amir. Thank you very much. I believe that is a euro. €3.49 pence. What do you call them? Is that euro? Amir, thank you very much. Stopped 4 years ago, 3 years ago. What should I do now? DM me. Well, I'll answer your question right now if that helps. Thank you once again for your contribution. You should start. If you stopped, you should start. If that's what you want to do, you enjoy playing football, you think it's fun. Number one, you enjoy the sport. If you want to succeed, you want to have success. I don't know what your goals are, but the best time, what's the quote? The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. So you can't go backwards. You can't change the past. You can't get that time back. All you can do is make the most of today. So if this is something you want to do, you want to start playing the game again, then yes, absolutely start. Get yourself onto a team. Get yourself onto a lower level team. Just start playing. Start playing in different leagues. Start playing men's league. Start playing co-ed league with girls and boys. Start playing futsal. Start playing indoor. Start playing 7v7, 5v5. Start playing beach soccer. Start doing street football. Start pickup games. Go on Facebook and look for drop-in soccer groups. There's tons of things that you can do to get started. And by putting yourself in those situations where you're on a team and you're like forced to be there, whether you want to be there or not, hopefully you do want to be there, but you're forced to be there on Monday at 6 p.m., then you're going to get into the rhythm. And in the beginning, it's going to be a little awkward, but you're going to keep playing, and you're going to start loving it, and you're going to get the results that you want. And hopefully you can use some of my videos, start practicing by yourself. You get a little taste of the game and you say, oh, I want to play a little bit better next time. Well, if you put in the practice, regardless of your age, regardless of your current skill level, if you put in the time and the effort, you study the game, you analyze yourself and what you need to improve on, you put in the consistent practice, then you will get better, regardless of your age, regardless of if you haven't played for 10 years or if you haven't played for 1 week, you will get better. If you play every day, you will get better. So Amir, thank you so much for your contribution. You stopped playing for 4 years, get back into it. It's going to feel awkward in the beginning, but get yourself on those teams. Like I said, there's so many different teams. There's so many different ways you could play. Do the research, get yourself on those teams, start training by yourself, start watching more soccer, start falling back in love with it, and you're going to pick up some momentum and you're going to feel really good. Thank you so much for your super chat contribution. I really appreciate that. Okay, one more question. Nathaniel Campos, can you get scouted from high school? Yes, absolutely you can. Especially playing like high school soccer in the States. I know it's big there, but yeah, you can. Again, you never know who's watching. Someone is always watching. You never know who your coach might be. You never know who someone's parents in the stands might be. Okay, and if your team is doing well, you're playing in the championship final or you're going to tournaments, then yes, there will be more eyes on you. So yes, it is possible to get scouted. Okay, one more quick. I'll just do this one quick. I'm 14. Can I still get scouted? Yes, guys. 14 is like an amazing age. Okay, you're so young right now. It's the time to go. It's the time to push. It's the time to be in love with soccer and just play all the time and get yourself in front of as many people as possible. You can get scouted all the way up to, I don't know. People always ask me, is it too late to become a professional? The older you get, the harder it is. If you're 30, then yeah, it's probably too late. Okay, but even players are still becoming pro at 27. Becoming a pro doesn't mean you're getting signed by Barcelona at 27. That means you're breaking into the lower leagues. You're playing North Conference in England, or you're playing PDL, or you're playing lower leagues. You're playing like French third division or something like that. This is professional football. You're getting paid to play the game you love. You can still become a professional in those older ages. However, it's way easier if you do it in the beginning. You take action in the beginning. That's what I didn't do. That's what I encourage you guys to do every day. That's why I'm so passionate about taking action. It doesn't matter how good you are if you don't take action, if you don't put yourself in the right situations and take the right steps. Luis Vargas, how old are you? I am 30. I'll be 31 next month, but I feel 21, so we go for a while. Okay, last question. Your IG name, please. It's at Progressive Soccer. And also at Dylan Tubey. Okay. Last question. Slice of Life, 1985. Is it harder to develop technical skills or mental skills? It's a good question. I think once you make the mental switch and you realize that, hey, everything is under my control. If I'm soft, if I'm low on confidence, if I'm low on self-esteem, if I get nervous all the time, that's all on me. That's all the way I think in my mind. And you realize that you have responsibility for it. Well, suddenly now the mental game, it becomes so much easier because every weakness, you're soft, you get scared, you get nervous, you're low on confidence. These are all things that you can change just by the way that you think. So once you understand that and you understand that you are 100% responsible, no one else can change that for you. You have to change that for yourself. Once that switch goes off in your mind, the mental game becomes a lot easier. You stop making excuses, you stop complaining, you stop blaming other people, you stop being negative. It's just all positivity. It's just all finding solutions rather than complaining about problems. And then the mental game becomes a lot easier and you just get more and more confident as you go. So I would say if you can get over that and you can realize that, it's just a realization, but a lot of people don't want to admit it. They say, "Oh, I'm just not confident. Oh, I'm just shy. I'm just scared. I'm just always been nervous type." No, you're just choosing that. Once you make the choice, then the mental thing becomes easy. So I would say mental. Okay, I got to stop there. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys saw, I did just create my Patreon page. So Patreon is basically a platform where you can support your favorite YouTubers or favorite people that create content. So if that is me, check out the link. Did you guys just see the link that I posted? Patreon.com/progressive soccer. Can you see the link? If so, please say yes. Check out that link, because if you do want to support me, you just like what I do, you like my videos, you want to see me do well, you want to encourage me to keep making more videos, you can basically give me a tip every time I release a tutorial. So please check out the link if you do want to support me. I'll thank my 2 Patreons right now. I have 2 patrons right now. I'm making $2 per video. So if you guys want to support me, please check that out. You can contribute $1 all the way up to $10, and then you get bonuses. For example, your name at the end of every video or your name in the description. You also get a collection of Instagram photos. I'll send you all the prints, action shots. What else is there? Access to the Patreon activity only feed. So basically you can ask questions and get them answered all the time. You get priority. So please check out my Patreon page. It's not something you have to do, but if you do like what I do and you want to support me, it's just basically a way to give me a tip. You don't get charged when I release like live streams like this, or release match highlights, or random like promotional stuff. You only will get charged the tip when I release a tutorial. So like the tutorial I did the other day, like how to shoot a soccer ball, or how to increase your speed, or 16 soccer dribbling drills. Only those really in-depth ones that I put a lot of work into, those are the ones where you will be billed, and you'll give me a little tip, and you get to choose how much you want to contribute. So please check that out. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching this live stream. Can we get the likes up a few more? If you guys haven't hit like yet, please hit that like. One more time, hit that like button. If you guys did like it, please let me know. Thank you very much. I'm glad I could have answered some of your questions. I see some of you saying thank you there. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you to my 2 patrons who pay me $2 per YouTube video. If you guys would like to support me as well, check that out, because I just set it up yesterday. Hopefully you found this video about how to be scouted in soccer helpful, how to get scouted in soccer, or how to get scouted in football. Hopefully you found it very helpful. And if you did, please remember to hit that like button, share this video, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. I just filmed a video earlier today, which was a footwork one. So I know you guys love the footwork videos. That video is coming out tomorrow. Check it out. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I think it's called 31 Best Soccer Footwork Drills. So check that out, coming out tomorrow. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.